You could almost call it tazkiyah or ilm al-nafs or tasawwuf, whatever, ihsan. You had these various ways we could look into it. And there was a common knowledge in human beings that the spirit was directly connected to the body. It wasn't a separate entity, and it was directly connected to the mind. It wasn't separate to that. Meaning, therefore, my nurture of my spirit will absolutely affect the nurture of my mind and my body. So these two propositions were fascinating. I was like, okay, hang on a second. This is very interesting. So when I started to pursue it and study and apply it, which is the key thing, right? I found immense benefit in my own journey. And in true marketing or da'wah fashion, statements are the last resort. The state should sell, right? The state that you form, if your stuff is good enough, I should see it.
The result of it.
Right. It should be apparent. So for me to talk about it is really the last resort. So alhamdulillah, I did share it with my siblings every now and then. I have a particular sister who's quite critical just by her nature. And by knowing her temperament, I was quite aware of maybe aspects of her skepticism as a default. So it wasn't personal, it was just temperament. So eventually, as the time had gone by and she'd seen certain developments in my character or in my regulation of certain mental aspects of myself, spiritual aspects of myself, and also physical. So one day she said to me, in true skeptic, courageous fashion, she said, Ishaq, you know that subject that you always refer to and you don't tell me about? I said, yeah. She said, teach me it. So I said to her, in honoring her nature, I said, well, give me 3-4 hours for me to really teach it to you. She said, done. I set a date and I started teaching this class. So that's kind of where this came from. And then one of my friends, I did it for my friends and family. One of my friends shared it on Instagram. And 5 years later, and it's been taught all over the world. So why did I choose this? Because it worked. It worked for me. And I didn't go to teach it because I was like, now I'm going to share it with the world. I was invited. The following week, someone in Leeds called me and said, can you come out and teach it? And those who know the science, this is interesting, because those who know the science, they know its power. So I teach it in Leeds. And this is like a very local UK thing happening. It's Birmingham, and the Birmingham was the private one, then the Leeds one, then Burton. Then I get a phone call saying, can you come to Istanbul and teach this?